Welcome back, everyone. This is Gear 100, and we are back with an old series that was on my old channel, The Auditor. And if you guys know where I'm going with this, then congratulations, you get a pat on the back. Oh, man. The reason I sound so upset, if you guys can hear it, guys, is because I really don't want to... Oh, come on. Just work right. I really don't want to have to redo this whole series because I got up to Generation 3, guys. Like, Gen 3, and I just finished it. Oh, Lord. Okay, fine. This is What If Ash Was Red's Son. This is the Kanto series, guys. So, right. We're gonna have to be consistent with this again. But you know what? I'm tired of being sad. Let's just get to the video. Let's just do it again. All right. So for those of you that actually remember this series from my old channel, congratulations. But if you're new, welcome. I did this series back on my old channel, and now we're have to restarting it. Also, I'm going to be changing a few things because, well, why the heck not? Like Ash's starter, what he's going to be doing, and I have an actual border up this time, so that way. I don't even know why I have this border up. It's just for freaking fun. It's just for fun. But okay, let's just do it. So now let's begin. All right, guys. So we would start a very long time ago when Red became, well, no, not a long time ago. It was just a few, like a decade or so back, when Red had finally become the world champion, the world's strongest Pokemon trainer. He went through all the regions, defeating all of the gym leaders, kahunas, every trainer, and I mean every single trainer that challenged him, and it became the world champion. And I even mean the DLC characters too, where we're going to be doing that. And Red had finally become the world's strongest Pokemon trainer. He had become the very best, like no one ever was. Yeah, I'm throwing that reference in there. Deal with it. Now, everyone had asked Red what was he going to do now, and Red said since he became the strongest, he's going to continue to become the strongest until someone else is worthy enough to take that title from him. But he also wanted to settle down a little bit, just to see where life would take him, because there's more to life than just Pokemon battling and training, which he was right. So that happened. Red eventually settled down, and well, one of his traveling companions. Oh my god, guys, I'm going to give a little bit of a hint right here. Instead of, I'm trying to think right now. I got it. This is going to be funny. So he decided to settle down with one of his next companions, and this girl's name was actually Green. But her first name isn't actually Green. It's Delia. Delia, her middle name is actually Green. She just went by it because it was much more simple to say, with also being a champion of Kanto. And Red decided to settle down with her as well. Blue was gonna settle down too with a woman we actually don't know of, but you know who we're gonna get because of that one. So we're gonna cut to a few years, like 10 years into the future. Basically, all now. Also, oh yeah, Red's last name is Ketchum in this one because it's never confirmed that he had one in the actual show of Pokemon Origins. So, Red Ketchum. Now we have Delia Green Ketchum. If you guys know that the whole story, it came full story now. So now we make sense. So over the span of the decade that they've been out of the game, well, no, not really, because Red still has to keep up his world champion, title every time someone challenges him, and he effortlessly beats them, like too easy. All of his Pokemon are just too OP. They eventually had a son, and they named him Ash Ketchum, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So over this, while Ash was growing up, he had always wanted to be a strong Pokemon trainer like his dad. He had always seen his dad on TV defending his championship, the world, as the world's best Pokemon trainer. He would know his dad is the very best, like no one ever was. And Ash would want to replicate that. He would want to be the spitting image of that. His dad was the previous generation, and Ash said he was going to be the next generation's strongest. Now, his mom had told him it's not going to be easy because ever since your dad became the champion, all the gym leaders, all the kahunas, everyone who's ever known your father has become incredibly a lot stronger. The gym leaders have changed their Pokemon around to match the different regions. They even what is it again? They some of them even use Mega Evolution, but they don't. But also the other thing is, if you want to challenge the Elite Four, you'll have to beat the gym leaders at their strongest. You'll have to go through them twice, honey. Once because of the regular Pokemon League rules, and twice to face them at full power with all their Mega Evolutions and their strongest teams. Now, Ash said he's up for the challenge. So yes, guys, I'm changing that around. You have to go through the elite. You have to go through the gym leaders twice. One for the Pokemon League rule to get yourself set up to see if you can handle it, and twice to actually get into the Pokemon League to register yourself. So yeah, it's gonna be incredibly goddamn hard for Ash to go through, since I'm making this a whole lot tougher for him, and I want to make this story a lot more worth it for myself. And don't think just because Red is the world champion, he's not in Ash's life. He periodically no, he is in Ash's life a lot more than anyone with a busy job like his you'd think would be. He visits, he stays for a long time. He even takes holidays and puts his matches on hold because he does want to spend time with his family. He knows there's more time than just battling and training. But he knows since he's just so incredibly strong, people are always going to be challenging him left and right. But they never win, and that's what keeps him the best. But Ash had told his father that he was going to beat him one day. He was going to get up to his father's strength and defeat him. And Red just told him he looks forward to the day that they can have their own all-out battle. And Ash would say, it might be sooner than you think. Oh yeah, also I'm going to be including the movies if I can. The first Pokemon movie, yeah, that's definitely going to happen here. Alright, so in Ash's starter in this one, some of you guys might be wondering, how is he going to get the starter? Well, it's simple. I'm going to be including Pokemon respawns and I don't know, guys. I'm just going to say Pokemon respawn because that's my only conclusion. I know you guys might be thinking, what about the legendaries and the mythicals? Well, those respawn too. I'm putting a little bit of game logic into this. Because in some Pokemon games, you can literally just go... It's called soft resetting. You can fight them endlessly. And I know what some of you nerds are going to say. You're not actually respawning the Pokemon. You're just resetting for a shiny Pokemon. Yeah, but I like to think of it as Pokemon respawning. Because, if you catch one legendary or mythical Pokemon, that legendary or myth won't exist anymore. And I want to give Ash the challenge of having to face that legendary or mythical Pokemon in battle to see what his skill sets are. A lot of you could argue that that's not how you may want it done, but that's how I'm going to get it done. But Ash is legit blessed by Arceus himself. This man is blessed to only find shiny Pokemon. I'm going to say this now because I did this in my old gameplay. If you guys are wondering why Ash is only finding shinies, that's why. You know what? God himself, me. I snap my fingers and now Ash only gets shiny Pokemon. So you're only going to be seeing shinies with Ash for the rest of the entire series. Goated. All right, let's go. So we would begin with Red before Ash's 10th birthday, and Red is thinking to himself. He's outside right now. Ash is just inside. He's in the backyard, basically. Okay, the party's in the backyard. Red is in the front yard with Mr. Mime, who's attentively cleaning the front house and everything. And Red is just thinking to himself, for his son's first birthday, what great mon is he going to give him? Because Red doesn't want Ash to get a Pokemon from Professor Oak. He wants this to be a gift from himself. Because obviously his dad gives him gifts for his birthday and all that. But this is going to be his first Pokemon. He wants it to be extra special. So what is he going to do? And then here comes Red's best friend, Blue. Blue will come to the front like, oh hey, I thought I'd find you up here. What's going on, Red? Red would just do his, signature ... crap. Because, it's just what he does sometimes. But, at this point, pretty much everyone can understand it. Like, oh, you too? Like, and Red would look at Blue with shock. Like, what? I care about my kid too. You don't have to act so shocked all the time. And as they look up to the sky, to the night sky, I know it's day in this picture, but just imagine it being night. As Mr. Mime pretty much goes to the backyard, because but Mr. Mime is gonna let them know when Happy Birthday's gonna start. Like, yeah, Red, Blue and Red are just speaking right now, and this is the fact where Red actually says something, and it's kind of a rare sight for him to be talking. Red, like, hey, Blue, like, huh? Like, wow, Mr. ... here actually speaks. And Red actually gives him a genuine talk. As time, yeah, as time passes by, we get older and older. It's starting to become like the next generation only gets weaker and only gets newer, but also weaker at the same time, more strange, more bizarre. Like, and Blue just says, what do you mean? And Red just says, with the dual typings, the new Pokemon, the new typings that popped up. Because, not too long ago, fairy type were actually discovered because of Kalos. They heard of that one. The fairy type. And now we have Terastallization, Gigantamax. We have everything. It's just a whole lot. Like, yeah, I understand what you mean, Red. But that's not what we're up here to talk about, is it? Nah, you can always see through my facade, Blue. Anyway, so what's really on your mind? I want to give my son his first Pokemon for his journey. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I want it to be special. I want it to be something that will set him on his journey. That will set him on his journey. He wants to be just like me, Blue. I don't want that. I want him to be better than me. He shouldn't be exactly like me. Like, and Blue just says, come on, Red, no one can be exactly like you. Like, I mean, well, okay, I know that, but he wants to be the best Pokemon trainer like no one ever was after me. He wants to model himself completely after me. I don't want him to do that. Ash has the right to be his own person and his own Pokemon trainer with his own learning, with his own experience in learning about the Pokemon world. I don't want him to just get everything from me. I mean, of course, I'll be happy to help him out, but still, he should know the struggles and how hard it is to actually make decisions when it comes to Pokemon battling, because you can't win them all. I would know. I lost my fair share of battles. Yeah. And also, didn't you lose to that one kid? I think his name was Ethan. Yeah. For some reason, he went by. For some reason, that boy really did have a heart of gold. For a little bit of foreshadowing right there, guys. If in the meantime, whatever happened to him? Oh, he retired from Pokemon battling altogether. He just said, well, he wanted to keep up with the modern world, and I mean, he still has Pokemon in his life, but he gave up battling. He's retired. Like, oh, bummer. The only guy that probably could have challenged you back then. Yep. So what are you going to give him as his first Pokemon? I haven't decided yet. I know it's going to be special, but Red would think to himself, wait a minute. Like, wait, Blue, what are you gonna do? Oh, I've already got my Pokemon ready for my kid. I specifically bred this Pokemon down to be the strongest variation that it could ever be. Now we're going to get that sooner or later. Cool. As Red thinks to himself, what can he do? And then it came to him. Blue, thank you. You were genius. But I didn't even and then Red runs off. Where are you going? I'm going to give my son the best birthday present ever. As Red runs off, as Blue goes back to the party, and Red did a little bit of something with one specific Pokemon that he caught on his journeys. At the end of his journey, he met this Pokemon and he caught it in an all-out battle. It was Red's biggest struggle yet. This was the strongest Pokemon he had ever faced in existence. Even he didn't think he would win, but the Master Ball had proved to be efficient. Yeah, who am I kidding? This Pokemon gave a piece of itself to Red to always remember. And Red asked this piece of that Pokemon to create him this specific Pokemon for his son. This Pokemon with unlimited potential, with, well, the ability to straight up do anything, with the most powerful ability as well. And as this Pokemon would create this other Pokemon, a beam of light would shoot into the air, as everybody would wonder what's going on. As Blue would wonder what the heck is Red doing. And as the beam of light would disappear, we see Red, but we see him talking to someone in silence. It would basically be like Red's muffled voice speaking to something. As finally Red would run right back to his house to sing happy birthday to his son. Ash would be in his room. Okay, hold on. Now I'm gonna cut to a different time. Later. As we cut to Ash inside of his house on his 10th birthday that night, Ash will be up lying awake at night, wondering what Pokemon he's going to get tomorrow. Gary already said his father had a Pokemon waiting for him, but Ash was hoping that his dad would have something for him too. Oh, hold on. Do I have on Do Not Disturb? Let me check real quick, guys. No, I do not, and I didn't even know. But anyway, Ash was wondering what his dad was going to do for him tomorrow. But before Ash went to sleep that night, he looked out of his window, and, well, he clasped his hands together and he prayed to Arceus. Ash, wished that he would become the best Pokemon trainer, like no one ever really was. He wants to... Even Ash says he wants to be better than his father. He wants to leave a legacy his father can be proud of. And, he wants and he begs Arceus for the strongest Pokemon that it can send him. A Pokemon that no one would be able to beat, that can use every move with the strongest ability. Little did Ash know that Pokemon was coming straight to him. As Ash would see a shooting star, and he would wish upon that wish once again to Arceus. Until, when Ash was about to close the window, he heard a Pokemon cry. He didn't think he heard it right, but then he listened, and then he heard it again. Huh? What? As Ash would now look outside of his window into the air, as he would see this strange Pokemon. This Pokemon that would look like it's that came from the stars. Ash wouldn't believe it, as he would see this. Ash would see a kitty Pokemon, a Pokemon that looks like a cat, but it's almost not. It's blue. Ash would ask, "Who are you?" And the Pokemon would say its name, Mew. You're Mew? And Ash would say, "My dad has told me stories about a Pokemon like you existing, but I never thought you were real." Oh, he was real. He was real. Mew is really real. And then Ash would ask, "What are you doing here?" And Mew would just point at Ash with its finger. Me? As Mew would nod, and it would fly around Ash. Almost like it's a lead, and then Mew would make a motion to follow him, as Ash would climb out of his window and run after Mew. Like, "Hey, slow down, you're going too fast." As then, Ash would, pretty much go into the woods, and, well, he would find, I'm trying to think right now, guys, give me a second. Okay, I got it now. He would find a strange Pokeball that he'd never seen before. What kind of Pokeball is this? One sec, guys. Boom. This is why I got the second screen, so I can show you guys more things. As Mew would grab the Pokeball, and it looks red, but it looks different. The design was red and black. As Mew would bring the Pokeball over to Ash and drop it in his hand, and Ash would point to the Pokeball and himself, and Mew would nod. "You want me to catch you?" And Mew would nod as Ash would hold out the Pokeball, because he doesn't want to throw it at a Pokemon like this. And Mew would simply press the Pokeball, and the Pokeball would open as Mew would go inside, as a golden energy would come off, as it would, well, it wouldn't shake because if you guys know what this Pokeball is, I'm gonna tell you right now. Wait, pause the video and put in the comment section down below. 3, 2, 1. Okay, in case you guys want to know, this is the Cherish Ball, a special type of Pokeball for event Pokemon only. You can't get this Pokeball, like you can't buy it anywhere. It's only for event Pokemon only, and you know that's the only thing that can happen. I have a few event Pokemon in my box, but this is I'm gonna make more Pokemon what ifs, by the way, guys, because I got a lot of dark timelines that many ways can go. But still, I want to put some more stuff out there. As the Pokeball wouldn't even shake, Ash would just say, "I got Mew," as he would walk back home into his room and put the Pokeball on his actually he would put it right next to him to lay in bed. You know what? Nah. He would let out Mew and say, "We're going to be the very best like no one ever was." Okay, buddy? Ash would put out his hand like with his palm showing, as Mew would come over with its two hands and put it on Ash's hand. Heh. We're going to be best friends forever. So Ash and Mew would actually sleep together, just like Ash and Pikachu would. Kind of a wholesome moment. And finally, it's the day where Ash gets to... he actually wakes up on time, but it wouldn't really matter. Because now, at this point, Mew has joined your party. Let's begin. As Ash would wake up in the morning, if you guys can see Mew at the top there, congratulations. It's pretty cool how I did that. You guys are going to have to get used to seeing that. I probably could have made it at the bottom, but I just didn't want to do all of that. But anyway, let's continue. So, as Ash wakes up in the morning, his mom wakes him up to go to Professor Oak's office. And he wakes up on time, actually, which is all right. But when he does... Oh, wait, hold on. I got to change the scenery at the bottom. Give me 1 second. Bam. Then when Ash would go to Professor Oak's office, and he would see Gary and Blue, his dad, already waiting there. Oh, cool. But that wouldn't be it. His dad is also waiting there as well. Holy, okay, here we go. So as they both would go there, Red would say he's been expecting Ash a little bit ago, but it's fine though. And now Blue wants to tell them something. They both have hand-picked Pokemon specifically for them as gifts for their first ever Pokemon. As Red would look at Ash and he would wink, signaling that Ash would be taken aback by that, but like, wait, what did he do that for? And Red would, you know, kind of wave his finger a little bit at Ash as he kind of knows what happened. And pretty much Blue gives Gary his first Pokemon. All right. You know what? I'm going to put the Pokemon side by side real quick. I'm going to move Ash next to Red so I can show the Pokemon. Anyway, let's go. All right. As Blue would hand Gary the Pokeball, and Gary would say, "Come on out," and it would be a shiny Squirtle. And Blue would said this Squirtle was bred himself by yours truly from his Blastoise. And Gary would say, "Wait, your Blastoise? Your partner Pokemon?" As Blue would say, "Yep, from yours truly, this Pokemon." I know you guys can't see it, but it is a shiny Squirtle. And Blue did, you know, breed it down. It has 6 perfect EVs, 6 perfect IVs, and the perfect nature for a Squirtle. And it has its hidden ability, Rain Dish. Like, oh, that's cool. You know what? Pokemon abilities aren't really consistent in the goddamn thing. So you know what? I'm gonna make Gary's thing be Blue bred it so perfectly that it's able to switch between its hidden ability, which is Torrent and Rain Dish. So Blue can have powered up water type moves. You know what? I'm gonna just do both. Torrent, Rain Dish. So, you know, it's both. It's actually both. So when Gary's Squirtle health is low, its water type moves will be powered up, and whenever it's raining, it'll actually get a healing factor, which will heal, I think, 1/6 or 1/8 of its health. I'm not sure, guys, because I haven't read on Rain Dish yet in a bit. But still, Gary is happy that he got the perfect Pokemon, and he thanks his dad. And Ash would wonder what's his Pokemon. And Red would say he had the same idea as Blue. So, for Ash's first Pokemon, it'll be... Alright guys, we're back. Sorry about that. Had to do something real quick. But Red said he bred this Charmeleon back as well, but there's something different about it. It may be it okay. Okay, guys, I know in the picture it won't look shiny that I'm about to bring up, but just imagine it as shiny, okay? Just really do, because I'm doing something special. As Red stated, this Charmander is special because a red bred so when Ash looks at it, it's a shiny Charmander, but it looks different. All right, guys. So, it like Ash will look at it and say, "Yeah, that this Charmander is different. It's bigger and whoa. Hold on a sec, guys. No, that's not the. I need to make it a little bit bigger because this Charmander really is special here. There we go. That's a big enough change. If you guys might be wondering, yes, this picture is of clone Charmander. Okay, it's from the Pokemon movie, you know, Clone Charizard. But you know, keep it a secret. But it's a lot different. Let me explain. Let me completely explain. But still, keep imagining it as shiny, okay, guys? I don't know how to change color palette on this thing to make it kind of yellow. I wish I did, but I don't. Sorry, guys. I just wish I did. And Ash would be asking, like, yeah, this Charmander is much bigger than any other Charmander. What is this, Dad? As Red would tell him, it's a primal alpha Charmander. A primal alpha Charmander, and Blue would say, "Oh, Red, not this again. We told you that we like not the, like yeah." Blue would say, "Red, we told you we don't believe that story." And Red would say, "It's true, Blue. I was sent back in time millions of years ago to the ancient land known as this place wasn't even called Kanto. It was called honestly, guys, I have no. Ooh, I got it. It was called Kenshin, the land of Kenshin. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second, Red. You just bred that Charmander and you got it all big and buff with your proteins and everything. You can believe, like, I did do all of that, but it was bred from back then. Like, yeah, sure. And Blue would say, "Oh man, and I get this little puny Squirtle." Like, Blue would just say that Charmander is not from millions of years ago back in time. He's just making this up. Like, yeah, sure. But Red would explain to Ash what this Charmander is. This is an ancient alpha, you know, primal Charizard from millions of years ago. He tells Ash that you remember that one time when you were young, I told you about Arceus sent me back in time millions of years ago to ancient Kanto? Yeah? Well, that story was true. And Charmander was one of the first starters you could get back then, and this is what he looks like. This is his primal alpha shiny version of him, of Charmander. Like, but what about Charizard? Your Charizard doesn't look any different. No, but Charizard and I still kept the experience from back then. So Charizard's genes, primal genes, are still in there somewhere. But but with this Charmander, he managed to find it, and he bred it down perfectly. And this Charmander is alpha. It's bigger, it's even stronger, and its typing is completely changed. It's not give me a sec, guys. It's Fire Dragon right off the bat. Like, whoa, it's already Fire Dragon? Yep. And it will keep that evolutionary line. Like, huh, okay, cool. Yeah, very cool. So our Charmander will be able to learn a lot more moves. A lot more dragon-based moves. But still, this is pretty cool. But it's pretty nice. And Charmander has more hidden abilities. Okay, so let me go look at Charmander's abilities, and let me go look at, like, some of the dragon's hidden abilities. That way I can find something. Alright, guys, I'm back, and I'm making up these new hidden abilities. Okay, so since this Charmander is, you know, not from this time, it doesn't have the blaze and solar power like normal. Okay, I like to call the first hidden ability instead of blaze, I like to call it raging inferno. So when Charmander enters the battle, it'll immediately adapt, well, raise its stats to the level that its opponent is at. Oh my god. Like, so immediately, not only is this Charmander strong, when you send it out into battle, if it's facing off against a strong opponent, it'll immediately adapt to that strong opponent's fighting style. Kind of like Akaza. It gets stronger as he's fighting strong opponents. So the more you fight this Pokemon, the stronger he's gonna get eventually until he overwhelms you. Basically, kind of like the Hulk in a situation, like almost like, yeah, but it's Raging Inferno. And its second ability, I like to call I like to call Ancient Rampage, basically. So, wait, no. Ooh, I got it. Roaring Rampage. So whenever this Pokemon knocks you out, I'm basically giving it like a chilling neigh and a grim neigh situation. But it's like an omni. It gets an omni boost. All of its stats raise upon knocking out a Pokemon. And so yeah, oh my gosh, this Pokemon is completely busted. It's alpha and it's a shiny. So, oh lord. And Ash has this Charmander on his team. So it comes in with Raging Inferno, immediately adapting to your Pokemon with its raised stats and everything. And this Pokemon's really cursed right here, guys, because you know how some Pokemon have download, like Porygon and the others. When they get in, they immediately adapt as well. This Charmander adapts to that as well. So if you have download and it downloads Omni downloads everything, Charmander will get an Omni boost right off the bat. Right off the bat, it'll adapt to the Porygon, making it stronger than it already. But when the Porygon gets the special boost, the Charmander will also get the Omni boost. I know I'm making Ash broken for the sake of being broken because I love broken what ifs and I love Pokemon itself. I'm a Pokemon fanboy at heart. Because Pokemon's the first game I ever actually played. Alright, anyway, with that being said, they both get sent on their journeys, and this is going to be cool. I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to change the color palette of these Pokemon, guys, but no promises. Just know that this Charmander is shiny, so with its shiny palette, so I'm going to try my best to keep that the same way for you guys. Anyway, let's move on. They both got, you know what? I think I'm actually going to end it right here. Ash will start his journey in the next episode. This is just the introduction, and I spent too long trying to actually get it done. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to continue this for the fun of it, but if you guys want this series to continue, get this to 5 likes, and we will continue. With that being said, like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace, guys!